Hi Leo, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. A quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Leo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you've got the moon card, and I have to wonder, so on the 2nd of March we've got a new moon in the sign of Pisces, right? So there's your first card out. It's face down, so I can't tell you what it is. Yeah, your new moon this week is going to be in the sign of Pisces, so I'll talk about that when we get to your card. But there is a part of me that, so usually the moon card is nebulous. It can be the past, it can be quite a heavy card at times, but I actually feel like this is you getting to the root of something. This moon card is one of the reasons that I picked the deck that I'm using right now. This deck, for those of you that have had readings with me, you know I always ask you to pick a deck. It's because each one of my decks is for a different reason, a different energy. And I picked this deck because when I saw that we had the moon card as the key to the week, I was like, okay, there's something that we need to get to the bottom of this week. And I feel like that's what this is. There's going to be something that is highlighted to you where you are going in a new direction, or where the universe is calling time on something, right? And it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just means that this is going to be a week of transition or change in some way, shape or form. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button for your actions and options. We have the King of Swords, right? So in a lot of ways, for some of you, this could be looking at paperwork, looking at documentation. For some of you, this could be making very official inquiries in some way, shape or form. This could see you maybe contacting a legal professional. Doesn't have to be for anything scary. This could be because you've decided to buy a home. It could be because you, I don't know, have decided to go to school and you need to talk to an accountant about whether that's possible right now. This is you looking into things, but at a much sort of higher or more official level than you have before. It's like you're gathering information, getting intel from the correct sources before you make a certain move. And the fact that you've got that moon card there, it really does feel for me like it's like you don't have all the information. Like I know I don't have all the information. I know I don't have all the facts. So I'm going to look at this in the right way now so that there's no problems or issues further down. For your communications and conversations, you've got the 9 of Cups, right? You've got this with the moon card, which is the past. This actually feels like this is a reconnection with an old friend, with an old colleague, maybe somebody that you went to school with. So I'm doing something new from here on in. I will be including students in the work sector. A lot of people have asked, I've had quite a few comments about it in the past. And, you know, I try to be as accommodating as I possibly can with everything that I've got and the allotted time that I have each week. If you are a student, if you're a student or you're studying anything, this could be a powerful time where some of your deepest insights come either at nighttime or through looking at your own personal history. So if you've got essays to write, if you've got deadlines to write, think back over your own life path, even if it's on something, I don't know, let's say you're a fashion student, right? And you think, well, how's my past? You think about your childhood. What era were you born into? What was happening with the clothes around that time? If you work in accounting, what was happening when you were a child? What was the most prominent thing that you remember about money when you were growing up? Do you see what I mean? Like it's asking, like if you're a student, no matter what age you are, this is about looking into your past for inspiration and to give you solutions on what you're working on now. I hope that kind of makes sense. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be a contact, a phone call, an email, a reach out from an old colleague, somebody that you used to work with. For some of you, it could even be an old boss. If you are looking to get back into work, my advice would be to contact an old boss. Call them up. Have you got anything going? How is it there? You know, it might be that they say, actually, you know what, we haven't got anything, but you know, there is something in another department, etc. It's kind of like throw the hook out and the universe will provide the catch. For those of you that are business owners or people that work for themselves, entrepreneurs, etc. This kind of feels like a moment where things are divinely going to be led. They're going to be divinely led. They're going to be inspired in some way. It's almost like things are being revealed to you, and the trust that you have in the universe is going to bring you the results. It's going to bring you the rewards. It kind of looks like some of you are having an answered prayer this week as well. All right. So it'll be interesting to see how this shapes up. For those of you that are retired and no longer working for any reason, the moon card is number 9. The 9 of cups is obviously a number 9. So 2 nines. 2 nines represents receipt, right? And this kind of feels like whatever you've already done, whatever you've already put out into the world, that good now starts to come back to you, right? If you're blessed financially in some way, maybe this is you looking into what you're going to do with that money, what you're going to do with those finances. For your love and relations, you have the 9 of Swords. All right, so first we'll talk about that. You know, you've got this underneath the 9 of Swords, I just said that, underneath the King of Swords. And there's an element of this that suggests that when it comes to partnerships or relationships, some of you are having to look at either very official avenues. So maybe some of you are starting to look at what the cost implications are of marriage, right? Maybe you're starting to look at what the social implications are of you getting married. Like there's a lot here where it looks like you're really starting to look at things under a fine tooth comb. Now, it is the 9 of Swords. This suggests that you're more worried about the relationship than you need to be. I kind of feel like everything is actually good, but you're kind of doing that thing of, is everything okay? Is everyone all right? Is everyone okay? You don't need to do that. For those of you that are single, it's very likely to be that you are, I'm going to say this, and it is kind of the King of Swords that suggests this to me, but it's an intuitive thing. I really feel like some of you are reconnecting with an old partner, or you're connecting with somebody that feels like an old partner. And so there's a part of you that's like, no, you remind me too much of that, you know, excuse my language, but that shitbag that broke my heart, and I'm not interested. And it's like, this person isn't that person. You have to take each person as they are, right? We've all been there. We've all had, it's like, I laugh about this a lot of the times, because when you talk to people that like, I'm not into astrology, and then when they tell you the story of that person that broke their heart, and they're like, that's why I don't trust I don't know, Gemini or whatever. And it's like, everyone's got that one sign that they'll never date again. And for me, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say to all of you Pisceans out there, it's you guys. Never again, ever. All jokes aside though, you're it kind of, yeah, I feel like that's what the 9 of Swords is. It's like this week, maybe you connect with someone, or you start talking to someone and you get cold feet. And you get those cold feet because there's something about this person that reminds you of someone else, and you're not giving that person to demonstrate that they're nothing like them. Maybe there's a resemblance in, you know, actions, or maybe even mood, or maybe even name, or whatever. But yeah, you be more evolved than that. Come on, Leo, you can do this, all right? For your money and materials, you have the King of Cups. So 2 kings represents minor council. So it does suggest to me that this week you will be having some sort of a meeting. There may be, it doesn't have to be a sit down, it doesn't have to be formal, but it does suggest that you are reaching out, you're gaining information, you're putting the feelers out on something to start to gauge, you know, how things are going to go, what you're going to be able to share, what you're going to, you know. When it comes to your finances look good this week. And it's likely to be... You know what, universe? And you, tarot, you obnoxious so-and-so. King of Cups, water sign male, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The moon card is Pisces ruled. You do the math. You can be really obnoxious at times. It may be, certainly on a financial level, a Pisces male may be able to help you or may have the knowledge or the information that you need. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be all of your reproductive system. Look after yourself in that regard this week. Doesn't say that there's an issue, but you know, this could specifically be your waterworks. I would say that much, like your, you know, and then when it comes to your home and environment, this is really nice because it suggests that a lot of you are very clear on where home is from here on in. Not too long ago, I can't remember who I was telling this to, but I've dreamt every home I've ever lived in, and that's not me exaggerating, like I'm being deadly serious. So whenever I dream of a new home, I start freaking out because I'm like, oh crap, that means I'm moving again, which is very frustrating. And I did not too long ago. But yeah, this suggests that a lot of you are tapping into this, I know I'm ready to move, or something about the home life or the arena, let's say, is changing. Now, for your new moon message, new moon on the 2nd of March in Pisces, this is a gorgeous new moon. It really is nice. I've been looking at this one actually since last year, and I was like, yeah, I like that one. I'm going to use it. So that being said, for your new moon, your new moon is falling in the 8th house of sex, sensuality, things that are taboo, psychology. This is also the house of the occult, spirituality, but deep spirituality. And these two, no more than these two, speak to me really very much of that whole energy of spirituality. Listen to yourself, right? This is that week where, and we all have conversations with ourselves, let's be honest. But this could be a great week where you could get some really powerful, deep insight on that spiritual level. Whatever your mediums are, mine is tarot. This is one of those few rare weeks where I may actually be able to read for myself, and I'm definitely going to attempt it. So, you know, I like this for that. The other thing is your 8th house is also other people's money. Other people's finances and resources are found in the 8th house. This could be an influx of new clients. It could be gaining an employee for some of you. It could be, you know, an influx or a boost to the partner's finances from here on in. It's likely not to show up just on the new moon because it's not really an eclipse. It's just a nice new moon. It's a great harmonizing energy. And because it's got Jupiter in really close sort of proximity, whatever grows from this new moon will likely grow into something quite big for you. Now, that being said, that's for those of you that are Leo ascendants, but to a lesser degree, but still very relevant, the sun and the moon, all right? And your card is the gate 40 and solitude. And look at what's on the card. In the distance, a home. I would wager that some of you are now starting to look at mortgages. I would wager that now some of you are looking at or planning to change the home where you live. Something about where you are is needing to evolve. And that solitude energy, interestingly enough, because all 9s relate to the hermit in some way, shape or form. Why do I say that? The moon card is number 18, 1 and 8 gives you 9, nod to the hermit. Same with these two, right? 3 9s in a tarot spread represents success, right? So this could be a great week, but it is going to require you spending some time alone to really sit with where the universe appears to be steering everything for you. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.